Right. Hello and welcome to 1UP's live preview of Star Wars The Old Republic. I am Associate Games Editor Ryan Winterhalter. This is.
Executive Editor Terry Nguyen.
And yeah, so we're just checking out the games. This isn't live gameplay we're playing. I played at on my home PC a few days this week and captured this footage. This is the opening minutes of the game right here. Like, I'm
You're
playing
a
it.
bounty hunter?
I'm a Sith Bounty Hunter, yeah. Checking out my character, my starting equipment. As you can see, the game looks like a pretty typical MMO. You haven't seen this since E3, you said, right, Scooter?
It's been kind of a while, so I saw some story stuff, but like I think I've played a little bit of the starting area, but I've not seen how this. So literally, you make a character, you become a bounty hunter, you customize, and is this like literally the first thing you see?
You walk in the room, and this guy here, you're participating in this thing called the Great Hunt on Hutta, which is I guess that's the Hutt homeworld before they pollute it to death and go to Nar Shaddaa.
Interesting.
And the guy in the center there, he just says, "Hey, we're in the Great Hunt, and you're my hope. You're like the key bounty hunter." And I go through that green wall, and that shows that I'm going outside of a story sequence, and this is the world proper.
Wait, so like the story thing you're saying this is gated by is indicated by like green stuff like that?
Like green gates, yeah.
Okay.
So like we'll see red gates later on, and this bounty hunter start zone is the same. I think it's like a Sith infiltrator.
That sounds right, because I played that.
Too, and so you'll see red gates, and red signifies a character class that's not you. And so right now I'm just sort of like I was just exploring the area around, trying to find the way out. I was kind of lost.
Did you not pull up your map?
I was looking at the mini map, and I thought I could do it by mini map alone, but here I am running into doors.
So let's see. So for context, so this game takes place like several thousand years before even the prequels. I think it's like the KOTOR time frame, and so you're just a bounty hunter dude on a bounty hunt.
Yeah, pretty much. Like right now, the guy says, "Well, in order to get the Great Hunt, you need sponsorship from this fancy hut, and in order to get sponsorship, you'll need to take down these people."
Are these people real, or are they all?
No, these are all NPCs right here.
Okay.
So like, here's the conversation system. We got this droid.
And so you have. Is there any like sort of Renegade Paragon stuff, or is it all pretty? Like, is there like any alignment or anything going on in these conversations?
Yeah, I have a few videos that show that stuff off. Right now, I'm just sort of getting the starting quest. So here's the Hut in question that I'm seeking to get sponsored by.
Looks very upright. I'm used to Hut being more.
I know, and he's a really
horizontal.
fat guy. Like so good. Oh yeah, we got Jay here, a community manager, asking. What did you ask?
Star Trek. Is this Star Trek?
This is not Star Trek.
J.J. Abrams' new Star Trek movie. I saw the techie stuff. No, not so much.
Not quite. All right, here we go. We got some game audio. I realized that I didn't have the game audio up.
I was wondering if he actually pronounces those slashes in his dialogue balloon.
Yeah, so that's sort of the opening minutes of the game, as you saw there. So we're talking about some moral choices stuff. Yeah, so I got it. That's a two-parter right here. So let's see, where was I here? So here I was tasked with tracking down a hunter who was off killing the natives of Hutta, if I'm not mistaken.
So here's your bounty hunter. So bounty hunters are all about like range attacks and stuff, right?
They're really it's range attacks, and it seems to be DPS. So you see that below the red bar on the left, that's my health gauge, and below that is my heat. So you build up a heat meter, and that, in addition to your ability recharge time, controls whether or not you can attack.
And I believe each class has its own like coping mechanic, like what you describe as heat, but like a Sith person will have something different. Have you played only bounty hunters?
In an earlier part of the beta, I played a Jedi Consular, and he had basically what amounted to MP.
Okay.
So it seems there is that secondary mechanic for all the classes I've played so far. So here's me getting like the first. These are the first enemies that I killed that really had any green loot. Early in the game, green, it uses the same color coding scheme as WoW. Green's about the best you can hope for.
And early on.
And you can see here, again, the combat, again, I'm hitting numbers on a keyboard is really what I'm doing. So if that's not your bag, this game probably isn't for you.
And is it true that each class has its own way of healing, so that there's not a really dedicated healer class, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, so if you see at the bottom right, well, here I am about to get a code. Yeah, there's on an unrelated, there are these quests lying around the world, so this is the data pad that I got, and it just sends you on a quest. But that ability on the far right will just heal you
Okay.
automatically, but you can't be interrupted, so if you're being attacked, it's going to disrupt it. So here I am going into, I'm supposed to kill someone. I forget exactly why. I killed a lot of people in this hour. Like every quest was kill this guy, and occasionally you get the choice.
So this is like an instance, essentially, right? Or
Yeah, so I'm killing this for the hut that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
This guy is a native to the planet and doesn't like, and he's become an insurgent.
Nemro found someone with no morals to destroy my village. Are you proud of yourself? Filthy murderer! Will you butcher all the women and children as well?
So dialogue choice. I tried to click with the mouse so that viewers would see what dialogue choice I picked, but I sometimes, like, my hand was too fast and I hit the numbers before.
The Hutts would slaughter us like criminals, when it is they who have taken what is not theirs.
You can see that a lot of the animations are straight out of Mass Effect.
Long before the Hutts came.
You are a warrior. You must understand why we fight.
Have you
for
done
our
any
birthright.
grouping?
Not on this part of the beta. I did it with my Jedi Consular character.
You can have story conversations while grouped, right?
All
Have you
Yeah,
had that
yeah.
happen
We
yet?
we had when you go into story conf and you have a choice, there's a dice roll to see whose version is, like, quote unquote canon, whose version of events actually happens. But if you pick the light side and the group ends up choosing dark side, you still get light side points.
Okay.
To this? To an outsider?
Oh, you're gonna attack or what?
So yeah, this is the option. I can kill them right now. So the character I'm playing is kind of like a true neutral, always takes the easiest path out of the situation no matter what. It's a very lazy bounty hunter.
No, there is no honor in making deals and butchering our own dead.
Calm yourself, Hutsbane. I fear this outsider will best you if it comes to battle.
So this guy's being hidden by this other guy or something?
Yeah, so this Hutsbane is out there killing all the Hutt's guys, all his soldiers, and so I was sent to kill him and take his head. So I have the choice now: do I take a fake head and bring it, or do I take his head, kill him and take his head? The option that I chose was to take the fake head because that was the easiest.
Okay.
I picked it simply for utilitarian reasons, but I still got light side points for it. So that's an example of one moral choice, and then we got this one.
So it's the same situation, right?
Yeah, this is the same the continuation of it. So yeah, Fraps just split up the videos
okay.
here, and so here I am getting the head in question.
Here is the head of a fallen warrior. Nemro is a great fool. He will accept it as Hutsbane's. Now please go.
You have killed many evil Kai warriors today. Do not return.
Yeah, and so the story kind of conflicts with the gameplay a lot of the time. So when I walked out of the, you saw me fighting guys, and I walked in here.
Yeah.
When I walk back out, those same guys are still attacking them. So even though I'm at peace with their leaders, these random mobs are
MMOs.
off killing. So then
Wait, what is this
that
one?
leads into a lot of important story missions. You don't have to go to the place to receive the information. You can just get on the holocron on your holo phone.
I did not know that.
Did you find out more about the Great Hunt or Brayden's killer?
That and more. I've been a busy girl. The man
Did
who
you
killed
pick your
me
voice,
really
or does
was
that,
Terran
like,
blood.
predetermine
They shot the
somehow?
Wanderer.
I think it's predetermined for each character class.
Taro spent years building up support with the Mandalorians. The Great Hunt is a Mandalorian tradition. Entry rules are different for their people. Since Taro is a Mandalorian, he competes with them to enter. Now he's buying off the other Mandalorians so they don't gang up on him again.
So the game is filled with these cutscenes and dialogue choices, so it's not a typical MMO. I don't know. I haven't played any Blizzard World of Warcraft expansion past Vanilla WoW. I don't know. I know that they added some story stuff into later WoW expansions. Do you know if they had
Oh, one more thing.
cutscenes like this?
While I was out taking care of
Not quite. I think I think even endgame WoW content was still mostly focused on, crazy raids and things like that, but nothing like cutscene like this.
like a death sentence.
Okay, so yeah, that's sort of the moral choices. That's the dialogue system.
Alright.
We've got the opening minutes. So going on. So when you level up, you don't actually automatically get new abilities. Instead, you have to go find a trainer to sort of, like this, right? One of these guys sitting right here, and you buy abilities.
You won't either.
There's not a whole lot of customization early on in the game. Later on, about level 10, maybe 20, I want to say that you pick up a subclass for each class.
Do those things cost money? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So if you're poor, you could conceivably not get new ability because if you don't have the scratch to get
Yeah,
it.
but money is so plentiful, and the abilities are never overpriced.
Hunting out there.
Oops. Yeah, so that's a typical ability trainer. So there are a few things here. So like then there's, to get the money to buy the abilities, you need to buy and sell things. Looks like there's some. Screen. Okay. So I'm running around checking out the shops in the early opening areas. Again, it's a typical, what you'd expect from an MMO.
So did you like instantly teleport, or did you like manually walk your way here?
I manually walk my way here. This is probably like 100 feet from the starting location.
I'll say if there is like a hearth like ability, like is there a way that you kind of teleport yourself to like a safe zone or?
Yeah, there is. It's down there. It's that little blue icon on the far right. So the green icon is the healing ability I mentioned earlier, and the left, the blue is sort of like take you to. It's not called a hearth. I forget what it's called, but it's just a place that locks you in. And so again, typical stuff. If you saw me selling earlier, I was selling these items that have no use. You get credits from enemies, but you also get these items that have absolutely
vendor trash.
Yeah, no value except to sell. So that's kind of frustrating. It's like, why can't it just be gold already? And so yeah, that's me. Bought a new ability, and then of course I got to rearrange everything in my quick bar. So that's a typical buying. Oh, there's a few more in here. Actually, there's a few more details. I wanted to show that if you saw the dialogue, you saw that the animations were straight from Mass Effect. Like a lot of the, did you play Mass 1 and 2?
Oh yeah.
So like there's a animation that was all over those two games, and I saw it in Dragon Age 2. It's where when a character wants to make a point, he like takes his right arm at a 90-degree angle and points one finger like a gun, and it's like, yeah. You see that all the time. It was all over Mass Effect, all over Dragon Age. I understand that they're sharing a similar resource pool, and it doesn't necessarily make fiscal sense to have new animations for everything, but seeing these recognizable things that I sort of associated as a trademark with one particular series. So this is me going into the hut that I mentioned, his palace, Nero the Hut. So I'm going to go in here and talk to him. He, like all good huts, has his own cantina in his palace, filled with dancing Twi'leks and Gamorrean guards. So they don't really reach too far beyond what you see in the Star Wars movies.
And these are still all NPCs, right?
Yeah, all NPCs. There's anybody with a name over the head is a player character, but you really don't interact with player characters until probably level 7 or so. This is me trying to select a song on a jukebox, but you have to go buy a jukebox token. So you look here again at the animations. It's these guys repeating it.
Yeah, it's those guys.
Some of them sometimes it's a little choppy. Some of the NPC animations are choppier than others.
So that guy, it says he's a hired gun. Is that someone that you can actually hire, or is that just like flavor text?
Yeah, they're mercenaries that you can just straight out hire. I haven't the story provides you with a companion or several companions to begin with, so I haven't necessarily done that yet. Again, those are the red gates I was talking about. All that's Imperial Sith Inquisitor, I want to say, or maybe Imperial Agent, some other Sith class. And the cool thing about being Sith or Republic here is Republic doesn't automatically mean light side, and Sith doesn't automatically mean dark side. It's entirely possible to be a Sith Bounty Hunter and play as a light side character, or be a Jedi and play dark side, and vice versa. So here we got, you were mentioning earlier about choosing player voice. This is character creation right here. You start out, I pick Sith, and then you select your class. Got the Inquisitor. Now, do you intend to play this when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm probably going to play. Actually, might play either Bounty Hunter or Agent. Or maybe, let's see, the Sith, like the kind of more DPS focused Sith one. I think it's a Marauder or a Sith. forgot. Not the. I guess the one that's not the Inquisitor. I think. See what,
Yeah, the DPS classes are a little bit interesting in this. There's a lot of classes that in a pinch can do DPS. Like I was playing a Jedi Consular, and then at a choice, I got a choice: do you want to be a healer or DPS? And I
oh,
ended
you
up
can be a
really
cyborg. I did not know that.
That's what I end up picking. So you got human, cyborg, whatever Darth Maul's race is.
Zabrak?
Yeah,
Oh my
Zabrak.
god, I can't believe I knew that. Ratataki. I forgot what the. Oh, I think they're in a Clone Wars series, maybe, if I remember right. And Chiss. Oh, Admiral Thrawn.
Okay. See, I just always think of the blue skin guy that is Admiral Thrawn. I don't necessarily think about his race. All right, so then again, pick gender. Pretty typical.
Just point me in the direction of the action.
And then here we go. So you got body type, head, scars, complexion, eye color, cybernetics, hair color, and skin color. Interesting thing about the body types is you can be at a certain. If you want to be tall, you have to be either muscular or fat. You cannot be skinny and tall in this game.
Huh.
Which I was actually kind of disappointed with. I wanted a skinny, tall character.
They don't exist in the Star Wars IP, maybe. Darth Vader wasn't skinny. Neither was Chewie.
All right, and then picking, even goes down to eye color. Not that you see eye color. Whenever you pick an eye color in these games, I always think, how often do you see that? And so this is running, all this is running on a GTX 580. Okay. So it's like, it's top of the line graphics card. My frame count usually was between 30 and 60. So it's a good frame rate, but it fluctuates a lot. I had similar performance on my GTX 460 that I had before my 580. So I don't know how it's going to perform on other people's machines. And again, this is a beta, so any performance issues you do see could and probably will be fixed sooner, hopefully, rather than later. So yeah, I go through this and I basically end up picking the character you saw earlier.
Okay.
So, all right, so what do you want to see now? We got combat, we have early combat.
Let's see.
There's a time when I got lost.
I would say either some combat or like some story stuff, maybe.
All right. So this is me turning. This is the end of my first night of play back in the beta. And some story stuff. So I've done what Nero wanted. I've taken the head of Hutsbane, this fake head, and now I'm about to give it to him.
You smell like dead savage.
His lips don't move. Kind of
It's a
throws me
beta.
off.
Ooh, what do you end up saying? Let's see.
You asked for a head. I went and got it.
So yeah, sometimes the story quest does get a little bit video gamey, you know, where a character says, "Go prove yourself," and you come back and you do what this guy's. Oh, well, that could be luck. I mean, and they just keep on extending it.
Let's pretend I don't know very much.
And so yeah, here we go. Here's the first bug. I think this is supposed to be showing the accountant in question, but instead it's just a random door.
You want his head, right?
Again, beta
Maybe
to be
under
expected.
4. suppose I can
So
do
now
that.
you're supposed to kill the guy's wife and also deal some other stuff. Looks like.
Yeah, so I imagine there will be a moral choice where do you fake the wife's death or do you actually kill her?
When you want credits, she pay you for dead savage.
So yeah, then you see the quest rewards. Sort of the left side of the screen was cut off. And so you saw that Rhodean in the cutscene, so I thought, oh, well, that person's important. I should go talk to her. Nothing. Can't talk to her.
She was still paid to say that line out loud. Large voice cast.
Yeah, how you were talking a while ago about how big the voice cast was.
Well, I mean, I think I was just hearing that essentially every person who's done a voice for any cartoon video game is in this game at some point. Like, it's apparently the biggest project ever for the voice acting community.
Okay. So the tech in this is actually really, it looks really old. Like, as you can see from playing it, one thing that struck out to me are these things in video games called PVS hallways. And I don't know if you know what they are, but like once you see them, you'll instantly recognize them. So PVS is the potential visible set of polygons in a scene. And if it gets too big, like if there are two large areas next to each other, that can slow down. So what developers do is they have all these right angles in the hallways. If you've ever played a video game that all of a sudden has a sudden right angle turn, that's like a hallway designed to hide the potentially visible set. So just like they're all over WoW. So even in the really large areas that are supposed to be connected, that theoretically, okay, why is this wall here? It's something that is in a lot of games, but developers have gotten really good at hiding them, and seeing them so blatantly in the Old Republic kind of took me out of it. It was like, oh, this is kind of a throwback. All right, so we'll take one last look, and these are a series of gameplay clips that's basically just sort of a vertical slice. It just shows this is what the moment-to-moment gameplay is like in each of the games. I forget what quest I'm on. I'm supposed to speak with the chief enforcer at a work camp because he is making trouble for the native leader, who is sort of the token leader there. So most of the gameplay really is this. You will go around, you will kill creeps. Of course, there's the dialogue systems and the moral choice systems that we talked about, but the vast majority of the time that you'll spend is walking around the environment. And, of course, there's the codex. Right here, you got the codex.
It's called a codex, not a holocron or anything?
No, just straight up a codex. Straight out of Mass Effect or Dragon Age.
What happens when you die?
You can be revived there, or you can end up going back to a medical center, and choosing to revive it damages your equipment, so you have to pay to get it repaired. The death penalty is very light, lighter than WoW's even. Which, I don't think that was by mistake. I'm sure all their user research shows that a low death penalty increases the amount of times players play. The hardcore MMO people seem to really like their death penalties. Corpse run. Woo!
What was this guy's deal?
So yeah, here's me getting a new quest. The triangle, hollow triangle, is a new quest, and then a filled-in triangle is like a continuing point for a quest you already have.
I sound strange. You don't have to say it. 40 years I worked in the factories by the river, breathing the noxious poisons they produce. Made a fair number of credits. But now my lungs are useless. Spines are bent from hard labor. I can't do anything for myself. I'm gonna ask for help from someone strong, like you.
I'm not in the business of charity, old man. Why should I help you?
Well then, because I can pay for services rendered, I suppose. Before the effects of Hutter's pollution made me an invalid, I set up a pollution treatment system to clean the river. Every extra credit I had went into maintaining.
So there are quests like this that for me it was really hard to sort of play in character. It was basically do a nice thing or tell him to screw off. But I want the the experience, so I'm just going to take it anyway.
They bought off the settlers and spread lies about my work, all to preserve their precious industry. That industry is the cause of all Hunter's problems.
That metal stretching at the bottom of his face is freaking me out. You know, it's supposed to be his mouth moving, but like the metal, like the filter on his mask, is getting longer.
All I'm asking is that you take the last treatment.
Hit the sure button.
Of course I'll take the last treatment.
Excellent. Thank you. This canister contains the purifying chemicals. The filtration system's up at the old muck works. Good luck.
And then the last half. So yeah, I just get that quest. I haven't completed it yet. I don't know how it ends out. Yeah, and then NPCs will have conversations like this.
Themselves, yeah. That one fat Twilight.
Hi, stranger. That's Evokai native speak for hello. Don't get a lot of visitors here who aren't backward savages. You come to the work camp looking for laborers?
Wait, is that the guy from an earlier mission, or is it just a character?
Probably.
Okay.
Nobody really.
That voice actor's all over the place. And like any other big game like this, like a Skyrim or a Mass Effect, you'll hear those same voice actors again and again.
Deal salvage to the Evokai. Smelly work, but profitable. Most Evokai are decent, though not too bright.
I haven't picked out any of the well-knowns. Like, I haven't heard a voice and be like, oh, that is Nolan North, or that is Cam Clark.
Do you know the Black Death who slaughters my people?
Imad, I keep telling you, not every off-worlder knows the Black Death. Oh, ignore him, stranger. This isn't your problem.
This Black Death, is it a man or a beast?
A man. Man, that's not his real name. Evokai call him that because he wears black when he hunts them.
The Black Death kills my people for sport. Butchers women and children.
He started out hunting hostile Evokai in the swamps, but now he's killing ones from the work camp. Having the time of his life. Keeps their ears and teeth as trophies. If this slaughter keeps up, I might have to get a real job. You know, I'll bet someone like you could convince this guy to quit. I'd sure make it worth your while.
I'll put him out of business.
Fantastic! You just might save my business. You're looking for a vehicle out in the swamps, surrounded by security droids. This Black Death guy doesn't like visitors. You'll probably want to do something about his droids before you try talking to him. Good luck.
So, yeah, now it's time to go find him. Okay. After I... Okay. So Fraps must have cut it off. I thought there was more combat in this video, but I think Fraps cut it off, and then I didn't take the second part.
You don't respect Nemro's authority.
What? Who you... Oh, man. Hey, look, I'm sorry.
And this is me completing
really
a quest
sorry.
earlier.
Oh, okay.
You know, boys, we're just having some fun. We didn't think... You're not going to kill me, are you?
Lighter dark choice.
Ah, come on.
If I have to come back out of here, it'll be the last time.
In typical Scooter, Honey Badger style, you're like, yeah.
Be a jerk.
If you can't kill him and threaten to kill him.
Won't even laugh at his name. Swear.
And again, new codex entry. So,
okay.
All right. So yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I have more video, but that's just kind of like going over ground that we've already seen. I'm hoping to do this once a week, sort of check in on the status. So next week we'll have something more exciting than the first hour or two of the game.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Cool. Thanks for watching.